Hi there, in this video we are going to create a login screen. We will create a new project. In that project we will add a new page. Inside that page we will add a form and then add our components. We selected File, then New Project. We then give our project a name by typing it in the component name property. All names in the project for elements should be unique. We then save our project and these refreshes our wireframe preview. The next thing is for us to add a page to our project. Having selected the project, we go to Pages, then select Page. We then give our page a unique name and title. To find our title property, we can use the search bar and then update it. After updating the properties for the page, we then save it. This page will be reflected under the project name in our tree. We then select our page and then add a form to it from the Forms menu. This form will help us host all the components in our page. We have given our form a unique name. All component names should be lowercase and not include spaces or special characters. By selecting the border button, you can see where each component is placed on your page. We will add some rows and columns in our form. A row can have a multiple of columns, which should span 12 spaces in total. Using the grid menu, we add the first row in our form. Inside that row we will add a column that will span 12 spaces, taking the complete size of the row. As rows and columns can act as placeholders for other items, usually it's not necessary to give them names. You can use the generated name by the app. For the column we have added, we want the components added inside it to be centered. We then update the Center Children property in it. After saving the column updates, we go to the Display menu and then add an avatar on the column. This is a round image display. The image URL property contains the link to the image to display on the avatar. As we want to increase the size of the avatar, we update its size property to be 20. This increases the width and height of the image. This login form will use a segment button, an email and password for people to log in. Let's build this design up. We will add a segment button. This will have two options and we can set the active button in it. The segment options use a key-value pair in JSON format. Each pair should be separated by a semicolon. After saving our component, the new design is shown in our wireframe. This design will ensure that depending on what option is selected, the right profiles are used for the login process. We will now add some additional rows and columns, followed by text boxes for both the email and the password. We give the text box a name and change its caption to be email address. As the email address component is close to the segment, we will put it inside a row and column. Let's add a new row and column and then move the email address inside the column. As you have seen, after adding and saving the column, we can just drag and drop the email address to that column. We create an additional row and column, and then add the password component. For both the email address and the password, we have marked them as required because they are compulsory. As the space between the email address and the password is bigger, we can adjust the padding so that we can bring them closer. We have adjusted the bottom padding of the column that hosts the email address. For the password, we will adjust the top padding. Padding is the space inside the component. This as a result has brought the email address and password component closer together. The next step is for us to add a button. This will fire an event to process the login process. To do this, we will use the cloning method. This helps us create a copy of an existing component, but gives it a new name. In the newly cloned column, we add a button. We will make it normal case and it should fit the whole width of the column. We change the color of the button through the variant property, update the normal case property, and also remove the icon from it. The block property ensures that button takes the whole width. We will also change the text color of the button to be white. This concludes our design. Thank you.